What's up, Vetters? Patrick here with Vetted. I have an amazing video for y'all today because Jesse Michels recently went on Area 52's channel with Chris Ramsay, and he did a wonderful interview. I'll put a link in the description so you can watch the full thing. But there's one part in particular that we're going to focus on, and that's this idea that Jesse Michels has probably interviewed someone that he feels has been inside of a UFO. And the implications of that are quite astonishing, just considering when you lay out all the people that Jesse Michels has spoken to, right, and interviewed on his channel, as well as Chris Ramsay, to be honest with you. But particular Jesse, and Chris asked him such a great question, and I want to dive into all of that because who is it? Right? Who is this person that Jesse has interviewed that he thinks has been inside of a UFO, right? And there's even more to this clip as we dive in. You'll see what I mean because I'm going to need your help and I'm going to need your advice. All right, y'all, let's jump into this. Now, if you haven't already, please hit that like button, Vetters. That really helps out the videos. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, y'all. We're trying to get to 50,000 and we are so close. I put out new videos every day about the UFO phenomena. Let's go. Roll clip number one.
Do you think that you've ever interviewed someone who you can confidently say has been inside a UFO?
Oh, I can confidently say they've been inside of a UFO.
Yeah. You've interviewed people who said they've been inside via abduction.
Yeah, sure, like Mario Woods.
Sure, or Whitley. Let's take those encounters away.
In a government context,
correct.
You have a craft, you open the hatch, and you walk in as like a government employee or like aerospace employee.
Without naming this person, do you think yes or no that you've spoken to someone who is possibly or has probably been in one of these crafts?
That's such a good question. I don't think so. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. I just thought of somebody who maybe. Okay. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Jesse does get a little, seems a little uncomfortable. It kind of sits up in his chair a little bit, right? Like, because then you start thinking, am I going to reveal who I think that may be and what's going on? You know, I don't know. It is interesting to talk about. And look, I have a couple more clips, so stay with me because this gets even more interesting. Again, I highly recommend this conversation. And we got two of the biggest heavyweights in the UFO world meeting together and talking. And in this interview, Jesse actually reveals some of his own personal encounters that he's had as well. So again, I highly recommend this video. Before we move on to the next clips, I got to keep the mics on, y'all. So I want to introduce the sponsor for today's video, Manscaped. It's time to talk about my balls again because the sponsor of today's video is Manscaped. And they sent me this awesome new razor. It's the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra Special Edition. It even comes with some boxers you can see right here to keep my little limes in check, y'all. Now listen, I've always said I am a active user of Manscaped. So before they ever started sponsoring Vetted videos, I've been using Manscaped for years. So I absolutely recommend this product and this new lawnmower. I cannot wait to get on my balls. This is just how it goes. Men have hair issues and they got to take care of them somehow. This is a great product. It does a lot of things. It's got a lot of features. I highly recommend using it. Again, I'm an active user of Manscaped. So I would like to thank Manscaped for sponsoring because I get to talk about a product that I actually use and tell y'all about it. Now, the great thing about this new product is it has a dual temp LED spotlight, as well as an interchangeable dual head system. It's also waterproof. And the best part, it comes with this awesome carrying case. So please use my code down below, VETTED, Vetted. Use the promo code. Link is in the description. Go check it out, y'all. Again, keep your balls safe. Use Manscaped. Now, let's get back to these clips because Chris Ramsay isn't done with Jesse Michels. In fact, he makes a great point right here after Jesse kind of brings up, maybe I know somebody, I don't know, maybe, trust me, I get it. I've had some of the same feelings myself when I do interviews on Vetted. So anyway, roll clip number 2. And there's one more after this, so stay with me. You're going to want to hear it.
It gets to a territory that's weird to dance around. I think because both of us want to know.
Mm-hmm.
We're both and everybody watching this far into the podcast wants to know. I can comfortably say, or they're just trying to get us to shut up. There's 2 types of people watching this right now that are paying very close attention. But in that context of wanting to know and being the people that we are, and it's kind of like we're to people watching, a lot of them at the forefront of this of trying to get this out, even though we don't necessarily see ourselves like that sometimes. We're kind of just like, I'm reporting on things that people I talk to or whatever, but inevitably we're getting closer and closer and closer. We're not getting further, I don't think.
I agree.
So I think there is a trajectory there. Mm-hmm. Where we end up seeing something eventually.
Yeah.
Whether it's NHI.
Yeah.
Or whether it's, craft or tech derived from this.
Let's do it, man.
Are you prepared for that?
I would love to see something. I think I am. I think I'm very open-minded and I'm pretty grounded, and I'd love to see something.
So I have 2 questions for you. One, who do you think of the people that Jesse's interviewed that they are the ones that have been inside of a craft, right? Hal Puthoff? I don't know, right? And question number 2, do you think we are getting closer to the truth? And would you want to see a craft yourself, right, if you haven't seen one already? Or would you want to see it with other people? Like, would that scare you? What if someone offered you a chance to see a craft? What would you do? What if you couldn't tell anybody about it? What kind of position would you be put in, right? Maybe at first it might sound great, but the longer you hang on to that secret, could it cause you trouble in life, right? Maybe this is some of the things that people that have seen these things, they deal with, right? It's got to be a journey to hang on to what could be the biggest secret ever. Now, I told you to stay till the end because there was a special part of this interview that I wanted to play. I said you'd want to hear it, and you're going to. Roll clip number 3.
Do you think that you'll ever be shown a craft?
I would love that. That would be a dream.
Is that part of the trajectory?
I used to think, okay, maybe I'll poke the bear enough that like I'll be able to like see some cool stuff.
Yeah, they'll be like, now shut up.
They'll be like, shut up, but we'll show you a thing. I don't know, man. The more I learn about the legacy program, the more I think it's actually kind of dark orientation towards the entire subject. Like my thing is like ontological truth. Take a shot. Where it's like I just want to understand the architecture of reality. What is this? Like, what's this soup we're swimming in? Like, who are we on like a and is there something higher than this? And then there's like the government is interacting with like a little part of that, like the little tip of the iceberg that you're seeing, and it's doing so often in a way to just create weaponry. And so I think that's kind of a perversion of like, that's not what I like am most interested in.
Sure. But do you think if you were to draw a line from the points of your trajectory so far that line leads there?
That's a great question. I don't know. I mean, my life's been so unpredictable thus far that it's just hard to say where it goes. And like, if invited to see a craft, I would say yes. I wouldn't say no.
If it meant you had to lie about seeing that craft, would you agree?
If it meant I had to lie just about seeing that craft,
yeah,
probably. Not lying, but omitting it or like skirting around it. If it meant having to do anything as far as altering my content or like what I'm putting out. Like, no. But like, yeah, I omit stuff all the time. I would just say I can't say, or, whatever, maybe I can't say the hermeneutic around I can't say now is like, you're saying that you saw the thing or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'd have to figure that out and think about that. But like,
Do you
if
think
it's completely
that's what-
harmless from like the content that I'm putting out's perspective, like I want to see it craft. What about you? How would you answer that?
Well, before we get to me, I still want to ask you these questions.
Yeah, hit me. Yeah.
So this is a great question by Chris Ramsay, right? Because it begs the question of what someone is willing to do to get the information that they seek, right? Because there's two journeys here, right? There's his own personal journey, Jesse's, right? And then there's the creator journey, right? Him putting out content and interviews and whatever, right? So, you kind of, how do you make that decision, right? It's a very tough decision. Again, I don't think the decision you'd make 5 years after having made the decision. So if you turned it down or you accepted the offer, I think some point later on, you're going to regret it one way or the other. I think if you said no, you'd regret why didn't you do it, and you'd want, maybe even try to get that opportunity back. But I also think if you said yes and you saw the crap, but then you couldn't say anything, you would be maybe totally regretting it later when you can't say anything, right? Or you start to reveal things and then people start to get on you, and maybe at first they didn't want to control your information, but later on they leverage that against you too, right? So secrets can be leveraged, especially if you know them, right? They can be leveraged against you, right? So maybe having the key to that knowledge doesn't open as many doors as you think, right? So it's complicated, right? And I don't know what I would say in that. I mean, if I had to keep a secret, I can't do it. I wouldn't do it. So no matter what, honestly, if I couldn't tell, that's just my rule in the sand. If I can't tell anybody about it, I don't want to know the secrets, right? Privacy is one thing. Someone telling me something private, personal, right? That this is different, So I don't know. That's a tough one, y'all. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. There's a little bit more here that I want to explore. So I'm going to play the last clip for you, and it might be the most interesting. Take a look.
Do you believe David Grush saw a craft?
No, I don't think he's seen a craft.
Do you believe Hal Puthoff's seen a craft?
That's interesting. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but maybe.
Yeah.
That guy just he's got his he's brilliant. He's really brilliant, and he's a polymath, and he's kind of this Renaissance man.
Mm-hmm.
And he pops up everywhere on this topic in like very deep circle. And he even had like this, I don't know if it was a limited hangout or what, but it was this advanced theoretical physics group with Oki Shannon and John Alexander and all these guys. And like, I have some reason to believe John Alexander was, pretty deep on the inside with this stuff. And so those two interacting for that long, like, and then Puthoff just being as smart as he is on all these different vectors, consciousness, but also, these different models of like, electrodynamics and stuff. Maybe. I don't know.
Great questions by Chris. Again, I'll put a link in the description to the full interview. I highly recommend it. And of course, y'all, we want to know who's been in a UFO, who's seen a UFO, who's touched a UFO, and who can talk about it, right? Let me know in the comments who you think Jesse is talking about with his maybe answer. And what do you think? Has Hal Puthoff seen a craft? It's interesting that he does say that David Grush has not seen a craft, because there was some speculation that he had firsthand evidence, right? That he's talked about. He was a firsthand witness to seeing potentially like satellite imagery of craft. So I guess when they ask that, they mean in person, right? Have you seen a craft in person? Touched it with your hands, right? So anyway, that is a huge distinction. So either way, we'll see you on the next video, vetters. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.